we're going to go over until loops. The basic thing you guys got to know about until loops is the fact that unlike while loops, where as long as a statement is true, it's going to continue to run through the loop, it's the exact opposite with until loops. As long as a statement is false, it's going to continue running through the loop. So I'm going to show you guys a couple examples here. So let's just create a file. So let's go one until. Okay, and then make that executable. So plus x, one until, and then let's just enter right into here. So let's put our shebang in. Alright. So we're going to do a simple one here. So let's just do until false do, and then we'll just echo something here. Alright, and then just put done. Alright, now let's just run that. And you can see it just runs like crazy because all it's just a continuous false statement. So we could press Control C here, and let's just enter right back into there. So I want to show you guys another thing here that you can actually do, and I may have shown you guys this on the while loops too, but all you have to do is to break out of this is to just type break, and I'll show you actually a good way of using that. So now you can see it only ran one time. So let's just enter back into there. Alright. Okay. Okay, so one thing I want to do here is we want to put this into a if statement. So let's just make a variable here. So let's just go var equals 1, and let's make a if statement right up here. If brackets var is greater than 10, and close that off. Then we'll just put break. Okay, and then we'll put else, and it will run that echo command. And we can erase this break. We could put fi to finish off that if statement, and then we're going to add 1 every time we run through this loop. So I'm just going to put a var right here, var plus plus, so we can add 1 every time we run through this. So let's run that, and I'll show you here. Now you can see it ran 10 times, and just to make sure, we'll actually run that through number line NL, and you can see it actually ran 10 times. So let's make another one here. So 2 until. Alright, and let's make that executable. So, and get inside of there. Alright. Now I'm going to give another example of something you can do here, and you guys can use your imagination on what you actually want to build with this. But these are the basic tools here. So let's just make 2 variables here, one that equals 30 and one that equals 50. And then let's just put until or brackets. And let's just say that as long as our var1, as long as the statement is false, then it's going to continue to run through this. So then we'll go do, and then we'll just echo our variable, second variable out here. And don't want to forget that other. There we go. Don't want a syntax error. And we'll just add 1 every, or minus 1 every time for var2. And put done. Now we'll run that. And you can see what we actually did here, and I'm going to cat this out. What we did here was our first variable was 30 and our second variable was 50. So whenever we ran through here, variable 1 is not greater than variable 2, so it's going to continue to run through until this becomes a true statement. So you can see right here we're subtracting 1 from our second variable every time we run through this loop once. So you can see it goes from 50 to 30 whenever this actually becomes a true statement, whenever our second variable becomes 29. So, and let's just do another example here. So let's do a 3 until. All right. Alrighty. We're just going to have some input here if you don't know what read is. Pretty much you put read space and then what you want your variable to be. So what I'm actually doing here is I'm creating more than one variable from our input. So we're going to have var also the same, and same as what our input was, and also our second var here. So we're just going to put var1 and awn. So yeah, we're creating 3 variables that have the same amount linked to them. So make a couple more variables here and put our until statement. And one thing here, these pipe symbols here, this is pretty much, whenever you're running through this, you can have 2 statements, and that's saying, okay, now run through this, and if this is not true, because we're looking for a true statement to actually stop the loop, if this isn't true, then look at this one over here and see if this is true. If these are both false, then continue running or keep running through the loop. So just so we got an understanding what's going on here. So let's put our var1 as long as b is less than or equal to var1, and then put do. And we're going to put an if statement down here. And now we're just going to put a separator here. Not necessary, but I like doing it. And I'll explain what's actually going on here in the end. Alright, Fi to close that off. And then let's just run that. Okay, now this is asking us to pick a number in between 1 and 100, so let's just pick 49. Okay, and I'm going to tell you what's actually going on here. Oof. May have messed something up here. Let's see here. Let's just run it again, see what happens. Oh, that's what it is. Forgot to close these off. 40. Okay. Now what's actually happening here, let me cat that out. What we have here is it's asking for our input. Pick a number between 1 and 100. So it's waiting for our input. It creates this AWN, or answer, and this is going to be whatever our input is. And I'm also making var, our first variable, the same as what our input was, and also var1 the same as our input was. And now we have a locked variable here. A is equal to 1, B is equal to 100. So and pretty much what this is saying here, until A is greater than var, like until this is a true statement, then it's going to continue running through, but it's also going to check this before, because we have these two pipe symbols here. So, or B is less than or equal to var1, and then it's going to continue to run through this loop here. And every time it runs through, it's going to subtract 1 from our first variable here, and it's also going to add 1 to our second variable here. So pretty much it's a race to find out which one is true first. So if we put 40 in, it's obviously going to hit A quicker, because it has less numbers to go through before it becomes a true statement. So that's what's actually going on here, because whenever A is like whenever this is a true statement, A is greater than or equal to var, which is what our answer was up here, then it's going to show us that's the output, and that's what happened here. So 40 is closer to 1, because you can actually see it happening right here, because we put this echo command out here, which shows it just shows us the update of what our numbers were at. It was counting down from 40, and it was also adding to 40, and whatever one hit 1 or 100 first was and I also have it put down here in our if statement that if it'll separate it out, and whatever one is true is it'll echo one of these two out. So let me just run that again. ./. Let's just do 55, and you can see 55 is closer to 100. I can do that again, and then let's just pick 49, and you can see 49 is closer to 1. So I also wanted to show you guys this right here, and this might be helpful to you guys. This is just some examples of what you can actually utilize inside of your scripts. EQ is equal to, and this is an example right here of what you can actually set it up as, and this is using an if statement as an example. But you can see not equal to, greater than or equal to, less than, and so on. And so here I'll just go down through here, and you can see that this is the website that I actually am referencing to. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll leave it in the link, a link in the description. So, well, thanks for watching, guys, and peace.